Hi there, and welcome to Wade's Workshop. Today we're going to make a start on making a tool post grinder for the mini lathe. I've got a few ideas and plans as to how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to start with the extension cord on a little Dremel tool, that sort of thing, but I can't see that being very effective because it hasn't got like proper bearings in it and what have you. But it's a starting point, so we'll make something to hold that, give it a whirl, and then move on from there. Maybe make a proper spindle, what have you, with bearings, proper bearings, that sort of thing. We'll see how it goes. We'll make it up as we go along, which is what I normally do. So hopefully we'll have a bit of success by the end, and I dare say this is going to be a several part of this one. So I hope you enjoy, guys. So, thinking cap needed, cup of coffee. I've had my cup of coffee, and I always find that useful for a think. And my initial plan is to use this, let's call it a Dremel extension. It's not a Dremel, but let's call it a Dremel extension. Now, whether this will actually work or not, or vibrate too much, I don't know whether there's bearings in here, I have no idea. But I've tried it out, and it feels reasonable. I may at a later date have to make up a holder with bearings and maybe utilise part of the flexible to drive that. We'll see, you know, and use this on the back of it. Yeah, we'll see how that goes as time goes on. But my plan is to make something to hold this on here, on centre height, on the tool post. And as far in as I can get it. I don't want it out here in a special tool holder in my tool post. I'm just going to make something like... Now I'm letting you into the way my mind thinks here. I've got this, which is my boring bar holder. So something like this, but instead of a boring bar, bigger hole through it. I mean, that one's no good because it holds my 12mm bar and this is a 10, but something very similar. And I may utilise the other side of it for maybe DTI holder or something like that. But anyway, that's another story. Make up a block like this that fits on the tool post that I can put this into. And then as we move forward, I plan on having my Dremel unit. It's a Silverline one, you know, cheapest chips, what have you, as the experiment. Having one here, hanging on its little stand on the bench. I got a power socket here, so happy days. And it'll sit there out the way. I can switch it on, set the speed, and go on from there. Secondary to that, my other thinking now, and it's just come to me, is that if I've got this fitting in there like that, down in there, I could rotate the block that it's in that way and use it for cross drilling holes in work, that sort of thing. So yeah, you can see the devious way my mind is working. It's got a hole there, which is where you lock it off and then you put your spanner on the end. So I want it sort of that way up. It is circular roughly here, and it's got 3 flats on it. So if that surface was against the bottom of the hole, I got that flat on the top which a screw would go against, and happy days. So let's start by machining a piece of aluminium, very similar to my boring bar holder here. So I'll measure up the height, rough diameter of that. I've got a chunk of alley, which should do the job. Scrap end, well, scrap end is a fairly big chunk, but I'm going to have to cut it down to this length, drill it, bore it, put that register in the bottom to sit on there. Make it this thickness because I know the handle sits the right way round, so that it's over here out the way when it's on this tool post. So I'll make the same thickness, and then I'll probably put up milling cutter in the headstock, machine the flat on here, may even fly cut it, and we'll go from there. So let's take you through that. So I've put my reverse jaws in, and let's put this slug of aluminium up in there. Now this side's been machined and that side has been faced, so let's see how it runs. I think I'm probably going to need a push tool for this to get it running true. Let's have a look, nice and slow. Oh, well, there you are. I won't need my push tool, it's running really well. Okay, so I'll tighten that down just to make sure, because we're sticking out a country mile. Okay, gone round all 3 jaws. Rather than waste the aluminium, let's have a look. Where's my little block here? I'm only going to need that much. Well, who knows, I might need this bit of aluminium at a later date. I'll part it off somewhere near. So I'm going to center drill the end so they've got a bit of support, part it most of the way, and probably hacksaw the rest of it off, save wasting. Probably hacksaw it down till it, part it down till there's about 1 inch left, and then hacksaw it off. Yes, I know, I still haven't shortened that grub screw. I'll get round to it. Again, aluminium. WD-40 is the lubricant of choice. I got my brush, I got my sprayer. Let me just load the end of my brush up. Here we are. Bit of WD or similar on the end of my brush. And I'll just keep that lubricated while I center drill it. I've got my center drill holder I'm using for this. And I will shorten that grub screw, because now that I'm using it, I don't use it very often, but now that I'm using it, it's bugging me. So we'll have a nice big centre in here as we're going to be pushing on it with a parting tool. About 2/3 of the way up the angle on that centre drill. I haven't faced the end, because that's going to be my scrap. So important thing with the parting tool, let's get it square. So I'll just square up my parting blade, which is stuck out probably 27mm, but I think it's going to need to be. Let me just check that hasn't moved. There we are, nice and square to my tool. Set my distance, away to go. It's always important to have your parting tool square on. So I'm looking for a finished size of 38.4mm. So I'll probably part this off around the 40mm mark. So if I just set a 0 there on my DRO, come back 40mm. Where are we? That'll do. We'll give it another mil for a laugh. 41, that'll do me. Lock off carriage. And this is going to take me quite some time, and I've got to take it very easy. So when we're getting somewhere near, I'll bring you back. I suppose I'd better prove I'm not cheating. I got a bit WD-40 in my brush, I sprayed some on the job. And look at that, away we go. Keeping the pressure on, no vibration, no nothing, and look how far out that parting tool is. That must be 15mm deep, that groove now. That must be 20mm deep now. I'm running about 520 RPM, something like that. Keeping the pressure on, keeping it going. And because I've only got one hand on the hand wheel, and I want to keep the pressure on, what I do is ease off, give it a little spray every couple of turns, just to stop it welding up. Gone in the full depth of that parting tool, 25mm as it's set. My tool post was just starting to rub on the top of here, so I'll push the tool out a bit and carry on. And I'm down to about 22mm diameter in the base, I think, and it was 65 to start. Well, I think that is about as brave as I'm going to be. I got about 2mm left in the bottom. So if I bring that out, I bet. Yeah, there it is. So having parted it off, kick the camera, bit of WD, center drill it again. Because the original center drill disappeared with a bit of parted off. I'm just going to center drill this and then drill it out, and I know a 9.9 hole will be the correct hole diameter to fit over the stud on my tool post. Keeping it under 9.9. Let's just change to a drill. We'll do this all in one shot, I think. Out with my little center drill. There we go. In with a chuck. Bit more. There we go. Let's just bring the tailstop back out the way, make it safe. Again, bit of WD-40, keep it moist. Let's have a look at the speed. Should be alright, that speed, something like 700-800. And we'll go right through with a 9.9 drill. Could go a bit faster, I think. 900 RPM. It's aluminium and it's likely to weld up if it hasn't got a bit of WD on the end of it. It's not coming back up those glutes that well, but the best part of the way there now. Clean it once more, I think. Rather than wind it all the way back, I'll just unlock the tailstock and drag it back on the, drag the whole tailstock back. Just quicker than winding. And out the other side. So I put my quick change tool post back on. In with a turning tool. I'll face it off because that's just a parted side. Let me just touch. That's close. Lock off the carriage. Put a little cut on with the compound. A bit more than that. Let's just face that. And that's going to be the base side. There we go. Pick cut back off again. Don't get rid of the swap with your fingers. Nearly. Right, I've loosened the carriage off. Let me just screw my tool post around the square now. There we go. And I'm going to take the slightest skim off the OD just so I know it's true. Touch off. Little cut. Maybe 0.05, something like that. Is that cleaning up? Just about. I'll take a tiny cut in a minute. And then we need the 45-degree chamfer on the bottom. I'm just going to run this all the way up to the chuck near enough. I'll just do a scratch pass now. Sour side, something like that, just to give me a good finish. Turn the OD, change my tool over, 45-degree tool. Let's just square that tool up, 45, that's about right. And I'll just put a nice little 45 on the bottom, maybe by a mil and a half, something like that. That'll do me. So my next step, bore a little register hole in the bottom. So I know the register on the top of here is 1/4 inch high, a quarter of an inch high, 6.3 mil, and it's 18 diameter. So I'm not worried about the height. I can go in a bit deeper than I need to. So I'm going to go in with a 17 drill and just bore it out just over 18. And that's way too fast. Let's just slow down. Right, I'll wait until the square shoulder hits and then I'll go in a further, maybe 6 turns, something like that. So here we go. Bit of WD on it, give it a fighting chance. That's about the full width, so I want 6 turns from there. Sorry about the noise. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go 7. I know I'm deep enough. There we go. So 17 mil, about 7 mil deep. Plus a bit. So I was asked a few weeks ago by a subscriber, I believe, how I made this boring bar holder, boring bar tool post, shall we call it. And pretty much what we're doing here is how I made this. So yeah, I hope this helps in that respect. So I've gone in with a 17. Let's just go in and touch the face. Probably a bit faster. Just touch. Set some zeros on my DRO and I'll come out maybe 0.3 of a mil. I'll just scratch through to the back at that, so that should be about 17.6 ish. I didn't take a note of where I started on as far as depth, but it doesn't matter if it's over depth this. Starting to hit that taper. Yeah, I thought I would. Let's just make a marker where that is. There. And my face is there. So yeah, I'm about 8.5 mil deep. So I'll have a quick measure of that diameter. So where are we? Not critical this. 17.75. So I want 0.25 mil on the diameter. So if I go 0.12 on either side. Speed things up a bit. Not strictly necessary with a little light clip like this, but a little bit of WD in the hole. Just bring it back out gently to remove the spring. There we are. And we'll have another little measure. Measuring 18.05. Okay, absolutely fine. So I now know that this will sit on the tool post here, onto the tool post and the stud, and clamp down. What I need to do now is turn it around in the chuck, face the top off so I've got the correct thickness, and just put a big chamfer on the top because it's not doing anything on the top edge. There we go. What I did forget to do was to put a chamfer on it. So lathe in reverse. I've just whopped the boring bar around at 45 degrees, so the tip is 45 degrees. And we'll just put a little chamfer on that. There we go. So now we can turn it around.